Welcome to an explanation episode of the now Made to Be Great podcast. So, when I started this journey to do this podcast, I had the idea to call it the Josh Speaks podcast because I had some things that I felt like I wanted to say and just share my thoughts on various different topics. And as I got into the evolution of the show and having some guests on, and just kind of reflecting on where I want it to go in the future, I just kept coming back to this exercise that I did probably 10 years ago, which was from a company called the Strategic Coach. And the exercise was called the Life Extender exercise, I think. I think that's what it was called. And it started by asking a weird question, which is, when do you think you're going to die? And so I was like, okay, this is weird. And so, but it was a very cool exercise because what it got down to is like, let's say, okay, you're envisioning that you got to the age where you thought that was going to be it. And you have then accomplished every possible goal you could have had in your financial life, your career, relationships, spiritually. You've accomplished everything that you ever thought that you would want to accomplish. And then now, because of medical advancement and science, you learned that you could live another 15 or 20 years. And then it said, what do you want to do now with this extra time? And then it asked another series of questions and asked you to kind of break it down smaller and smaller and smaller into like what your purpose and your life vision and life goal is and what really drives you. And I remember getting to the end of that exercise and I had just come through this really tough period. And I had this intense awareness that numerous other people had really leaned into helping me like make it to where I was at that time. And so when I got down to that in my exercise, my thing at the end of that was to help other people make it. And so I, also because of my faith, I believe that God created each one of us to do something unique and something valuable and something great. And so that kind of gave birth to the concept of this saying that I have, made to be great. And I have a license plate that gives a nod to this, that I have as a custom license plate that I've had for a while. And someone's calling me because they need something. And so the made to be great thing has just been a thing that I've said as a saying for some time based on that exercise. And when I envisioned on where I want the podcast to go, I am excited to shift into some topics of like, hey, how do we achieve greatness in our health? How do we achieve greatness in our spiritual life? How do we achieve greatness in our vocation? How do we achieve greatness with friends? And so I'm excited to not only continue to talk about these topics and share my thoughts, but to bring in other people and who I think have some great things to say and to offer on these different topics, and kind of help this whole community of how can we each grow greater into the design that God made us for through sharing this information, talking about these different topics, and bringing in these different people who have expertise and vision in these different areas of life. So I'm kind of shifting this from Josh Speaks, like just me, to like hearing, let's see a variety of voices and let's talk about how we can become greater together by sharing these ideas and bringing different thought leaders together and having a conversation about it. So that's why we're shifting from the Josh Speaks podcast to Made to Be Great podcast. And I am very excited for you to continue with me on this journey. I know there's a lot of podcasts out there, so I certainly appreciate and am grateful for the time that you're taking to tune in and listen and engage with this material. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you real soon on another episode.